Well, the indictments come as the FBI finds itself under heavy criticism over Wednesday's deadly school shooting in Florida. That's after the Bureau admitted it failed to react to prior tip-offs on the danger posed by the gunman who killed 17 people. Florida's governor has called on the FBI's director to resign over this fatal failure.
The FBI's failure to take action against this killer is unacceptable. 17 innocent people are dead, and acknowledging a mistake isn't going to cut it. An apology will never bring these 17 Floridians back to life or comfort the families who are in pain. The families will spend a lifetime wondering how this could happen, and an apology will never give them the answers they desperately need. The FBI director needs to resign.
Earlier, the law enforcement authorities admitted over the last few years they'd had over a dozen calls regarding the killer.
We have uncovered at the Broward Sheriff's Office that we've had approximately 20 calls for service over the last few years regarding the killer.
The FBI has determined that protocol was not followed. The information was not provided to the Miami field office, and no further investigation was conducted at that time.
In particular, the FBI had been given information about the attacker's gun ownership and his social media posts. His desire to kill people, erratic behaviour and potential to conduct a school shooting were also flagged. And one of those who actually warned the security services about the suspect has spoken about what led him to raise the alarm.
September 24th, 2017, I sent a screenshot of a comment on one of my videos. You know, this comment said, "I'm going to be a professional school shooter," and I knew that I couldn't just ignore that. I hit the report button, reported it to YouTube. Of course, they removed the comment, and then I tried to email it to the FBI.
Well, the shooting in Parkland, Florida occurred on Wednesday when a former student fatally shot 17 people and injured some dozen more. A 19-year-old suspect was detained by police on the day of the atrocity. His case and how the FBI failed to recognise the threat posed by him is now being investigated. US Attorney General Jeff Sessions is now calling for an immediate review of the FBI and the Department of Justice. Florida's not the first deadly attack that could potentially have been avoided had more attention been paid, as Maupin explains.
Nicholas Cruz isn't the only mass killer to be on the radar screen of the FBI before conducting their crime. Omar Mateen, who shot up the Pulse nightclub, killing 49 people in Orlando, Florida, was investigated by the FBI twice before he committed his mass murder. Turns out they deemed him not to be dangerous. Now, don't forget about Dylan Roof, the self-proclaimed white supremacist who killed 9 churchgoers in South Carolina. Well, it turns out he was able to purchase his weapons because of errors in the FBI's background check process. And then there's Nadel Hassan. He shot up a U.S. military post in Texas back in 2009. Turns out the FBI was fully aware that he was online in communication with top al-Qaeda leaders. They still didn't bother to investigate him.
I think we've seen time and time again over the last few years our intelligence agencies across the West dropping the ball in terms of getting tips, being aware of potential threats and not following up on those threats and taking out preventative measures. It seems lessons are not being learned. They need to have a proper review about, what exactly are the threats? What are they trying to do? How can they best protect the people of their country to protect them against these threats? And that doesn't seem to be done.
It's not like these federal law enforcement agencies are lazy. Just recently, we heard from the FBI that Chinese foreign exchange students are a threat to national security. We also had federal agencies urging us not to buy Chinese brand cell phones. And more recently, Congress renewed the power of the NSA to wiretap and spy on American citizens. Some might come to the conclusion that it's not incompetence or a lack of effort. The issue is rather the type of threats these agencies are choosing to focus on. Maupin, RT, New York.